I can't believe that you could tell. Like, you're like, something smells, and you're like 3 feet away from my hands.
Well, I smelled it since you arrived home, so...
Yeah, but it was good smell. It was food.
No, it wasn't good.
It was burnt ends from Bodine's.
Oh, it stank.
Barbecue.
Smelled like you put your fingers in your ass and then you let it dry.
Let it dry.
Like that. It stank.
Alright, anyway. Welcome back to In Bed with Aaron and Helene. Of course we're on.
Hi everyone. Welcome back to In Bed with Aaron and Helene.
Look at you trying to put a sweet voice now after talking such vileness.
You're not going to put that on the...
Of course I'm going to put it
on the website.
T'es fou quoi?
Non, ça va pas.
Ça va pas, non. Welcome back to In Bed with Aaron and Helene. We are doing a special midweek episode for everybody.
How is it special? We've done that last week already.
Yeah, but we're going to keep doing it.
Well, so it's not special anymore.
Well, people asked for it, so we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, but it's not special. You're selling fake stuff.
I'm not selling anything.
You're like this lying salesman.
A lying You're like this lying salesman.
Yeah.
Which lying salesman are you talking about?
The guys that are selling like encyclopedia and all this thing.
A what?
Encyclopedia.
What is an encyclopedia?
Encyclopédie?
Do you mean an encyclopedia?
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's not what you said. You said... Anyway.
Universal Encyclopedia.
Sakuraba came to me today while I was doing planking. While I was doing planking in the gym. And he said, you look a bit off balance. I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, maybe the floor is a bit wanky.
So funny. You wankers. Sakuraba, you wanker.
Hey, Sakuraba's our friend.
Whatever.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves the show. He's always telling me about it.
All right, next.
All right, anyway, so today's episode is going to be about parenting. And we're not parents. We have pet turtles, which we're parenting. But we're learning a lot of lessons about parenting, and we differ on some things. And we wanted to talk a bit about the way our parents differed in the way they raised us. So it's like mom versus dad. That's the kind of subject for the day. But I'm going to take a slight detour first because I want to tell you a story about what happened to me today.
Okay, go for it.
So I went to Oxford Street for a job interview.
Oh, yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yeah, I didn't get to tell you the full story.
Yeah, okay,
right?
Go ahead.
So I went for a job interview. It went fine. It was pissing it down with rain. And Oxford Street, for those of you who don't live in London, is one of our busiest streets. It's always full of people. It's the main central London shopping centre. Yeah? Okay, so I come out and I'm near the plaza, yeah, and I'm walking along, and in the distance I see a guy crouching in the middle of the pavement, not off to the side, not in the gutter, crouching in the middle of the pavement like he's dropped something.
Yeah.
This guy's wearing a suit.
Yeah.
The problem is that he's pulled his trousers down to his knees.
Yeah.
Okay, and he was shitting in the middle of the pavement.
Did he had like some kind of mental issues?
This guy was better dressed than I was for a job interview.
Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but it was for a job interview. I was wearing a full suit and tie. He was wearing like a flat cap. He was in his mid to late 20s. Okay. He had white iPod headphones in. He was like carrying a nice bag. He looked like he was just on his way to work. And he was shitting in the middle of the pavement.
Did no one like...
People walked by and they kind of looked like once and twice and their faces were just like horrified. And I came up...
Did no one stop and film him?
No. I came up behind him. So I got full view of the shit flying out of this guy.
No.
Yeah. And
was
I was
it like liquidy or was it...
Yeah, it was kind of like...
Diarrhea.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
He just caught in the danger zone. Like, there is nothing worse than toilet hunting in the danger zone. Do you know what the worst thing about this is, though? That maybe 3 minutes up the road, there was a Garfunkel's and a Café Rouge.
Yeah, but I think he was like... couldn't hold it anymore.
He just got too far, too close.
Maybe he had some
problems.
Jalapenos in the morning.
Jalapenos. I felt bad for him because he was squatting on the floor with like his head in one hand, kind of covering his face, and then the other hand on the floor, like bracing himself.
Oh shit.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and he wasn't swaying, he wasn't drunk or nothing like that. A couple of times he sort of looked around as I was coming up, like, and
no, but the poor guy, man.
yeah, middle of the street in Oxford fucking Street.
Oh, you know what? You should have gone in front of him and clapped. Started clapping.
Well done, man. Brave.
Hats off for you, man.
Hats off.
Oh.
It was insane. And
wow, this guy's my hero.
he's your hero. Well,
he's completely assuming his shit.
Pavement shitter on Oxford Street.
You're my hero.
You're Ellen's hero. If you're a listener, it's unlucky. He had headphones in. He could have been a listener.
No, maybe he got inspired by my diarrheas.
But I told Alex this. Alex, who was on the podcast the other day, and
what did he say?
He said, "Where's the film?" And
yeah,
I said,
why do you not film it?
I said no, because as I got up close to him, I was thinking, "There's a guy. This guy's shitting on the floor in the middle of the broad daylight. This guy's crazy." I think the next step, logically, could be shit flinging and shit smearing. You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't want to be part of that.
You don't want to be going to work with some shit on your jacket.
I steamed past this guy, like, quick, double time.
No, but you could have filmed from behind.
I was looking over my shoulder and trying to escape.
Oh.
I know.
That's so glock.
It's so glock.
What?
What's glock?
It means crazy.
Glock is it a French thing?
Yeah.
What's the word?
Glock.
Glock. It's so glock.
C'est trop glock.
C'est trop glock.
Yeah.
I love it.
Shit, man.
Shit is right. Shit was the name of the game.
No.
I feel like his parents failed him somewhere.
No, I feel like he's
I've only ever come into the danger zone like that one time, and I made it to the toilet. But I almost did.
I'm not gonna say that it never happened to me because I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to think I would have at least, like, gone into a side road or, like, gone in the curb or done something like that. Like, I don't think
Why
I
does
would
it
have...
make a difference to go on the curb?
Because he just brazenly squatted in the middle of the pavement.
I guess it's
a
not...
public thoroughfare.
I guess it's not really respectful for anyone else. In the middle, everyone could step on it after that.
How bad does your shit need to be that you stop in the middle of the road?
Imagine though, like, imagine people after that. Imagine, how did he wipe his ass? Oh shit!
Did he wipe his ass?
Oh no, but I guess he did that because he didn't want to shit himself, right?
I was thinking he was saving his trousers, so he can't have been that crazy because he was obviously thinking, I don't want to mess up my trousers. I'm trying to justify this.
Shit.
He could have done that move, the warm move.
Maybe he hadn't.
Where you put your ass
oh,
against
you know
the wall.
what? Maybe he was going to the same interview as you did. Maybe he was interviewing for the same role and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna go to my interview smelling like shit with the brown trousers."
Yeah, he was wearing a blue suit. It would have been noticeable.
Oh.
Yeah, it was grim. It shocked me. It shocked everyone else around us. I'm still, like, thinking about it now, and I'll probably be thinking about it for the next few days.
Was it like a taboo subject? No one talked about it?
No, nobody said nothing. No one even looked at each other. Everyone just walked past him.
Everyone avoided eye contact.
You know how busy Oxford Street is? At rush hour.
Fuck.
And he was just going for it.
Oh, that poor man.
Yeah.
If you listen to us, reach out, man.
Reach out. You're not alone. We've been in the danger zone too.
We'll interview you.
We'll interview you. We'll talk to you about your shitting practices. It was fucking terrifying.
Oh.
That I was scared. I was worried he was gonna throw shit at me.
I think that would have made a great story.
Well, the thing is, at least it would have happened after the job interview.
You know what? You could have taken your phone out after that, no? If he's thrown shit at you.
Once he threw shit at me, I would have got my phone out, yeah, for sure. Or been running away down Oxford Street from a guy flinging shit at me. I think after one shit fling, I wouldn't be like, hey, wait, let me get my phone.
Let me film you.
Stop.
Let me film you. Oh, wow. Okay, that's intense.
That was intense.
Oh, wow.
I don't think there's any way to segue that into the topic of the day. I just needed to get that off my chest because I don't think I could have spoken coherently
without telling me
without telling you that story.
Wow, thank you.
No.
Thanks for sharing it.
I remember the last time I pissed myself when I was a little kid, and my mum's reaction was really good. She was just...
Of course. I think she loved you for it.
No, she didn't love me for it.
She showed you some love.
No. Well, she did show me some love. It was at the beach.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, she wasn't there. So, like, I was wearing... I used to wear these really thick black jeans. Like that were very stiff. They didn't really move. They were very, like, I think
How old
maybe
were
cheap
you?
jeans. This was primary school, probably 9 or 8.
Were you fat already?
Yeah, I was a little chubby.
Oh.
I was fat. Anyway, I was in the ocean, like, splashing kind of thing, but, like, with my jeans kind of rolled up a bit.
Making waves.
And I remember making waves with my flab. And I remember thinking, like, shit, I need to pee. And then, like, running up the beach and then going, it's too late. And then just pissing myself. And then, like, I was standing with my legs really wide. And then, like, the piss, like, because the jeans were so thick, it didn't, like, soak the jeans. It just ran down the
Your leg.
and then came out in 2 little puddles on the beach, like, by my feet.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it was brilliant. They should give all kids these trousers. And then I told the teacher and stuff, and she was like, it's okay, you know, and then she didn't...
Oh,
like,
so
say
you were
anything.
at school?
Yeah, it was a school trip. It was a school trip.
Sorry, I didn't listen to that part of
I don't
the
think I
story.
said that part, to be honest.
Okay.
I got home and I told my mum I pissed myself, and she just was like, all right, just,
I love you.
I love you. Change. It's okay. Change your trousers. Everything will be fine.
Imagine that with today's kids, all wearing their skinny jeans and whatnot.
You would, like, inflate, like blowing air into a glove. You just fill up like a balloon of piss.
Huh?
It's with skinny jeans on, they're so tight, and they're
No, I
like
was
made of
saying
like a
in the
plastic.
sense that they wouldn't like the piece wouldn't be
I
flowing
wouldn't.
down there.
Are you thinking about the logistics of where it would travel?
Of course, that's what I do. I think about the logistics.
The logistics of the piss flow.
Yeah.
Don't think my dad knew. I don't think I told him.
Do you think he would have loved you just as much, or?
I think he would have just kind of like chuckled. He would have just chuckled.
Does your dad tell you he loves you as much as your mom?
Not as much.
How'd you like the segue into our
Good
theme?
segue. Well done. Yeah, like my parents both said it like a lot. You know?
Your dad too, then?
My dad says it a lot too. I never got like tough love from my dad. I just like argued with him all the time because he did a lot of shift work when I was growing up. So he would stay overnight away from home.
Yeah.
You know, and I wouldn't see him as often as I would see my mum. You know,
Yeah.
feel like I was raised a lot more by my mum. But as while we were kids, they tried really hard to maintain like a unit. You know, before they divorced.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just my memories of my dad growing up were like I got a few little memories from like church and things like that when we used to go to church. But I mainly remember my teens and just arguing with him all the time and fighting with him and stuff. Yeah,
rebellious
teenager trying to like assert myself as a man, you know, and being like still really short and fat.
Aww.
Yeah, I was a naughty kid some of the time.
So what do you say is the biggest difference between your mom and your dad then? Or what was it you wanted to touch base on?
Well, no, this isn't touching base. We've been over this. You need to stop saying that.
I love it.
You
know
like
what-
it because
you
it
know
winds
what-
me up.
Exactly. That's what I was going
That's
to
why
say.
you're saying it.
Right, anyway.
The biggest difference between them, I think they tried really hard to be like one person. I think like I don't remember them ever really disagreeing over like my discipline. They tried super hard to be like me and my brother, like we love you both equally. If you get punished equally for things, you know, we'll
What?
discipline you equally. Like no, like it's not like I'd get punished if he did something bad.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
like whatever we did, it carried the same punishment. You know,
Okay,
nothing
okay.
was over the top.
Hmm.
But it's just like I think the main difference with my dad and my mum would be my dad would get into it with me, in an argument.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
My mum wouldn't. You know, my mum would just be like, "This is the way it is." Da 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 da. But my dad would take it personally.
Yeah.
And then I'd end up getting into some big crazy like personal argument with my dad, and it would be like we're gonna have a fist fight about it. We never did, you know. We had like some grappling matches. It's my early introduction to jiu-jitsu. But yeah, we never like.
I guess
saw eye to eye.
we got punished equally as well. Like same amount of whipping. There wasn't favorites in the family as to
Whipping
yeah.
with what?
So it wasn't a whole assortment of what we could get whipped.
Was there a cupboard?
No, it wasn't covered. It's basically, it depends on what they could find within their reach.
Oh, it's one of those. It's like, it's the closest thing. We're just going to grab it and swing it.
Or how organized it was, like how much of an event it was. But because I was like in such a big family.
Yeah.
Sometimes when, for example, we would go out and not tell our parents where we were and stuff and come back very late, they would get very angry and have the whole family round up and wait for like the child that would be punished. So it would be either me or my brother just above me.
Sounds like the Colosseum.
And then...
Did they make you have like gladiator fights to the death? What do you mean they rounded up the family?
I don't know, that's what I remembered. I feel like there was like
it was
everyone
court.
watching. And
that is terrifying. It explains your French management techniques of humiliation.
And then it would be, I think most of the time it would be either a hanger, it could be a rolled up, what's it called? Newspaper.
Oh, that's
so that
the best one.
Yeah, that would be
that would feel like
the
nothing.
nicest one.
Yeah, it's like a tickle.
Well, it depends how tight it's rolled up. I'm telling you, that's not tickling.
It's more like a whip kind of thing. The hanger is brutal.
And then, yeah, but don't worry, like the hanger, they would make it tight together. It wouldn't be like with the hook. With the hook or
hook you.
Or it would be, my mom was a seamstress. It would be one of her giant...
She'd throw needles at you?
No.
Like a ninja?
One of her giant ruler.
Oh, ruler.
Rulers.
Eesh.
She had
That's a bad one.
Yeah, she would only use the wooden one though, because she had like stainless steel one as well, and she wouldn't use those ones. But I remember,
something.
I remember the day my mom stopped hitting me was I was about 9 or 10, and I can't remember what I've done, but I pissed her off like real bad, so bad she hit me with this like wooden ruler. She hit me so hard, and because she didn't see any reaction from me, like I didn't show the pain or anything.
You just gave it dead eyes.
I gave him the dead eyes. Morgan would know this.
Morgan would know all about the dead eyes, yeah. It's like, I'm not going to tap.
She was hitting me so hard that she kept building up, like how hard she was hitting me.
So she was hitting you harder each time?
Yeah, and she broke the ruler.
On you?
On me.
Fuck!
And I think she shocked herself by breaking it, and then she was like, "Go to your room." After that,
oh my god!
I think she panicked.
What did you do?
I can't remember.
You would have to have
honestly
stolen a living creature, like a puppy, out of the pram of a baby, and then stabbed it to death in front of me to want to hit you with a ruler and break it over you.
Yeah, for you, yeah, but the rules are different in a Chinese family.
What did you do?
I can't remember, man.
What kind of stuff would get you hit?
Oh, you know what? The very last time she hit me, I was probably 21. You know how it happened? Like, I can't remember where we were, probably at home, and she asked me for something, and it was like right in front of her. And I literally turned around and was like, "It's there, can't you see it?" And she backslapped me, and she was like, "Who do you think you're talking to?"
21!
Man, I was 21. I think I still remember. I think there was a little tear that ran down my cheek.
But you still didn't, show the pain?
Of course not. But I think at this stage, the pain was more in my heart than the physical pain.
Did your dad ever hit you?
Of course.
Really? So both of them did? Because I had the impression your mum was the disciplinarian.
No, the punishment was from both. And it was actually, most of the time, it was my dad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But what kind of stuff would get you beat? What is, the minimum offence? Because I didn't come from a smacking family. My mum and dad would occasionally give me, a little smack on the bum, or they would, bend you over their knee, and give you, a spank. But, not it wasn't ever brutal. The one time that it was bad was, I can't remember what I did, but my mum got a rubber slipper. And it was, flexible, so it was whoosh. I was like, ooh. I remember it stung so bad, and I was flailing to escape, so she couldn't get too many good ones in, But I think my parents hated the idea of hitting me.
I'm pretty sure my parents did hate it as well.
Doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they enjoyed it.
No. They really hated it. I
It's
mean,
like, this hurts you more than it hurts me.
yeah, but
No, other way around. This hurts me more than it hurts you.
I remember because at that time my auntie was living with us, and my auntie would like try and save us every time. She wouldn't want us to get hit. I don't think she's ever hit her children.
This is a good cook.
Yeah, it's the best.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she kind of like raised us as well.
She fattened you up.
Everyone raised
You
us.
up good.
Yeah, no, but like, yeah, that was just standard. Like, so what would get us punished?
Yeah, like minimum offense for getting smashed.
I can't say minimum offense, but
Smashed, I mean spanked.
I can remember one, like, the type of things that would get us punished would be, so we live in this suburban street, right?
Yep.
And on one end of the road, you've got, like, the main road where the cars are going through, right? On the other end...
It's like a little parky, foresty bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the other end is the little foresty bit. And, you know, my parents were, like, very protective of us. So we weren't allowed to actually go outside of the street. So we weren't allowed to trespass after the foresty bit and go out of the street.
Yeah.
And same thing on the other side. So if we had friends outside of the street, then we couldn't go and see and play with them, or we couldn't go and discover around because it was too dangerous. And we'd love to venture outside with my brother and with other friends and stuff. And our other friends in the street, they didn't really have any like that like they had very protective parents, but not as protective as mine. So they would be allowed to go out of the street. So they would like kind of tempt us to go with them.
Really?
And I was not really like, it was not difficult to tempt me. So I would go with them, but then if my parents knew about it, they were like, for example, looking for us, coming outside looking for us, and they wouldn't see us, then that's where we'd get the beating.
So they're beating you to protect you.
Exactly. So that we'd be too afraid next time of like...
You'd be more afraid of the beating than afraid of what's beyond the...
Yes.
The thing.
Yeah, because it didn't seem to scare us to go beyond the street, so... Yeah, so that was like one thing. Another one would be my brother and me fighting, and that would happen all the time.
What kind of fighting?
Because he would tempt me all the time. Like, not tempt me. He would tease me all the time about different things. Like, he would trigger me all the time.
Trigger?
Yeah, and the thing is, he used to try and trigger my older brother, like the one just before him.
Yeah.
But my older brother was wiser. And he wouldn't fall for
this. He could like wave it off.
Yeah, he wouldn't fall for his trap. But I was just like a silly bugger. Every time he would like tease me or stuff or say shit to me, I would just like fall for it.
You'd flip out.
I'd flip out.
What would you do?
I don't know, probably try and hit him or something. I remember calling him gay all the time.
Did you?
Yeah, that's why like when he actually came out, I was like, what? And I was like, oh, come on. You knew it. Like, you've called me that for ages. I was like, well, I was saying that as a kid. I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah.
That's...
Yeah, so, like, us fighting would be a big trigger for my parents to punish us. Because they wouldn't want us to, like, be violent. So they showed us their own violence. They were like, you want violence?
I'll give you violence.
I'll give you violence.
There's a story about that. There's a guy in our church... And his daughter was like crying fucking loads and loads and loads and loads. Can't remember the names of these people, but like she wouldn't stop crying, and it was kind of over nothing. He just like smacked her, and he's like there. Now you have something to cry about.
At least you've got a reason. That's good.
My mum used to and Dad both used to joke though, like with it. So my dad would kind of like give you a clip on the head, and he'd be like, "It's just in case you do."
No.
Yeah, but it was not hard. It was just like a tap, you know. That always cracked me up. Violence wasn't like a thing in our house, like unless someone was angry, you know.
Yeah.
We'd end up like in full fights. You could not leave my brother and me alone in the same room growing up. Like it would be me and him sitting together on the couch, where one of us is holding a toy and the other one's holding a toy, and TV's on. Parents would leave the room, and as soon as they were out of sight, one of us would just go smack, hit the other one, you know.
For what?
For nothing. It was probably normally me hitting him,
Well,
you know.
that's
and then
not
it would
surprising.
just be like grappling and fighting, and then mum coming in, hey,
Yeah.
you know, separating us. We normally got like punished through stuff we really wanted, you know.
Emotional punishment.
Emotional punishment. So we were both like played a lot of video games as a kid. I played a lot more video games than Micah initially, and it would be like, you're banned. The word in the house was banned. That was the punishment word. You're banned from the computer. You're banned from television.
Aww.
You're banned from this. You're banned from that. It was banned was the word. Banned from dessert.
Wow.
Yeah, banned.
For you?
Oh, for me, that was ultimate sadness.
That was the worst.
Ultimate sadness. No, the worst thing was taking me off the computer, because we grew up in southeast London, in Peckham, okay? And now it's kind of gentrified and it's up and coming kind of thing. It's sort of like where Shoreditch was like
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago,
Right.
you know? And but it wasn't safe back then. Like the whole Damilola Taylor murder thing happened really close to our house, and there were shootings and stabbings and stuff. And you know, my parents, being paranoid as they are, passed it on to us, you know. But we weren't really allowed to play out. And a few times, like kids from the neighborhood and from primary school would knock on the door because they want us to come play out on the street, you know, and run around and everything like that. But like the street just round to behind us, there was a properly like crazy woman. The police around there all the time with like guns and dogs and drug busts and all this kind of shit. And it was rough, you know. It wasn't the kind of place, and that's where all the kids wanted to go and play and run around.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happened to those kids. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
But if it was my kids, I would be like, yeah, I don't want you going around that side bit, you know, like at least play here. And then on the other side of the street, there was this crazy old lady called Mary Loftus.
Yeah.
And she lived inside of this house, which was covered by a magnolia tree, which was like shading the whole house. So
it's like the haunted house.
Yeah. If you walk past her house, it was darker.
Yeah.
You know, even if it was a sunny day. And just outside the front of her house was a caravan that she wanted to make some kind of community kids project and have kids come in there and do their homework if there was no space at home. It was super creepy. And she left the caravan there for so long that like the heat and the weight of it over time, it sank into the concrete.
No.
Yeah, or I guess it's not concrete, and the road is tarmac, you know, so it's like, you know, I guess it was a bit softer. But like eventually they moved it away after she died, and there's these big dents in the tarmac where her caravan used to be, and then people that moved in cut down the tree and totally like transformed it. So it was her on one side, and then on the opposite side of the street there was this crazy rag and bone man. Wow. Do you know what a rag and bone man is?
No.
It's like a guy who collects junk.
Okay.
And he had a big trolley, and he'd pretend he was disabled to get benefits. And then you'd see him like just walking around like normal.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So like our parents were just like, danger there, you're not playing outside. But they provided us with entertainment inside.
No wonder you were fat.
Yeah, exactly. I've always thought that. But they built a playground for us in the garden. They built from wood and from rope and from everything. They made a climbing frame.
What?
With a tire swing.
You never told me that.
On it. Yeah, we had a big wooden frame. We called it the climbing frame. That was the name when we were kids. And it had a like a climbing net, like from Ninja Warrior, like a cargo net.
That's awesome.
Have. On one side it was blue, and then it had a big tire swing that you could swing on, and a ladder, and we could climb it and do bits and bobs.
Did you have friends come around and play with you?
Yeah, mainly our neighbours were called Annie and Maggie, and they were like the same age as me and Micah. And in the poles were put into the ground, and my dad set them in concrete.
Yeah.
So it was and then he drew in the concrete on one pole and an A, and on the other pole an M for Aaron and Micah.
Oh.
So like, and that was like permanent, you know, it was there for our whole childhood. And the first time Annie and Maggie came over, they were like, "Oh, it's for Annie and Maggie." And like they thought it was for them.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
That was meant to be.
It's meant to be.
This friendship.
Exactly. Don't have no idea what's up with them anymore.
Oh.
No idea. But yeah, we were allowed to play in the garden and stuff, but that was only when it was nice weather. And the computer. So because we couldn't play out and so like that computer was like the escape.
Major part of you.
Yeah, so when we misbehaved and you got the computer taken away, you knew you were in the shit. And the way my parents would do it would be funny. Like I'd shout at them, and then they'd be like, "There's 1 week, And I'd shout some more, and like, that's 2 weeks. And the more I shouted, it'd be like, that's 1 month. And it would go from 1 month to 3. Like, it would jump, you know?
You would keep shouting.
Sometimes I would just lose it.
Oh,
Like, I would see red.
You're so dumb.
I was so dumb. I would see red, you know? I'd just go crazy.
Yeah, you were a rageful kid, you were saying.
I was a pretty rageful kid, yeah. I had real anger problems. I used to smash stuff and be crazy. Stuff that would get, like, the skin taken off my back in your house.
For sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You got hit for walking out of sight.
Yeah, actually. Well, I guess their way, like, your parents are more of a, I don't know, psychological punisher.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's like long-term things. At least we got beat up, but then it was once and for all.
And it was over.
Yeah, it was over. And before we did anything, like, after that, before I went out of the street, I would think twice, you know? I'd still go out, but I would just be more careful. Like, I would stay outside of the street for a shorter period of time and come back and pretend I'm still playing here and stuff, or try to convince my friends that we could find things to do in the street itself. Like, yeah.
Yeah, the fear would kind of keep you on the straight and narrow. I guess that's like, that covers the whole punishment side of things. And it sounds like your parents were like united, like my parents were, with punishments and stuff. Like, they never argued about punishing us. They were always like, no, this is the punishment, we agree on it. You know, they were good at that.
Yeah.
But what about like your parents' parenting styles? Like, what did each of them kind of give you that was different from the other one? Because my dad kind of liked to treat us, you know, and he took a bit of the... Like, my mum liked to treat us too. Like, a large portion of my childhood after my parents split was just my mum. So she took on the role of both parents, you know, which is
tough.
Crazy. It's crazy, yeah. But, like, when they were together, like, I always got on with my mum better when my parents were together. And it seemed like my brother was kind of more on my dad's side.
Really?
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was kind of like that. But then... after they split, I got a lot more rebellious and a lot more angry. So then, like, my brother gravitated kind of over to my mum, and I felt like I was just, like, the nemesis. I felt, like, really bad, you know? But my dad kind of...
such a twat.
No, I wasn't such a twat. I was confused and full of hormones and rage, and I didn't know what to do, you know?
Your mum was struggling with, like, taking care of you, and you were...
I was angry.
And you were giving her shit.
Yeah, but I was struggling every day. Like, I had all
with
these...
what?
Oh, with getting...
White guy problems?
No, with getting, like, brutally bullied at school.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, forgot about that.
Conveniently forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a shit time at school, but, like, you know, that's separate to the whole parenting thing. Well, that will be another episode. We'll cover that in another episode. But, like, yeah, I think my dad kind of tried to play the more playful role, and mum was business.
Yeah.
My parents are really different in what they can, like, handle. Like, my mum... the day-to-day stuff, like feed you, clothe you, get to school, everything. Yeah, like she had that, like, on point, you know.
Yeah.
My dad was more like bit spontaneous and everything.
Yeah.
So I think they kind
I wonder if it's the dad things.
Is your dad kind of like that?
Yeah, of course. But I told you already, my mom was the one, like, in charge, and she, like, I don't know why I'm talking in the past. She's the one in charge. Like,
yeah.
And whether it's discipline or whether it's the logistics of the family and stuff, like, my mom would take care of things.
Yeah.
My dad would, you know, again, he would bring the money home and stuff. But I think from a personality point of view, my dad was always more cuddly, and he was showing not his emotions, but he was showing his love for us more than my mom was. So I've always known that my dad loved me, because that was a rule where when we saw him in the morning, we had to give him 4 kisses.
What?
Yeah, well, actually, I would give him 2, he would give me 2, right?
Okay, so you would exchange 4.
Yeah.
All right.
And they're like full-on kisses. You've seen him, right? He's like kissing, breathing, like the Chinese kisses.
Yeah,
you know,
Chinese kisses.
Everything. And
for people that don't know what that is, it's like, I'd never seen this before in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I've never seen this before. Like, the kind of like the white version of family kissing is maybe a little kiss on the lips, like just like
what?
Yeah, like a peck.
Ew.
Yeah, but just like a peck, like that.
On the lips.
Or on the cheek.
Yeah,
Like
okay, I get on the cheek, but on the lips?
Yeah, just like this, just like nothing, like
No, we don't do that in this house.
just like a peck, you know, or a peck on the cheek,
Okay.
you know, or a kiss on the forehead or something like
forehead,
that, you know.
cheek, I understand, but lips?
Okay, yeah, you think that's weird, but the Chinese version or Cambodian version, I
it's
don't
not
know.
weird.
Okay, the next level will be the French version, where it's like kiss on one side, kiss on the other side, like every time, and maybe up to 4.
Yeah.
Chinese version is
that?
you bury your face in their like cheek and neck, and you go, you sniff, you take a huge deep sniff of them.
Yeah.
You know, and then you do it on both sides like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And you think the peck on the lips is unusual?
Of course. We're just breathing the scent. That's nothing.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, it's
to
not.
breathe in someone's scent is so like such an intimate thing, you know.
Yeah, it's showing love.
Yeah. Well, now I do it all the time. Like, it's great. But, like, it's weird. When I first saw it, I was like, what's going on? I didn't know what to make of that.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. This is the way we kiss.
That's the way we kiss. At least that's the way my parents kiss. I don't know if it's an international Chinese thing, but that's the way.
So your family did it?
Yeah. And also, I know that this isn't... Actually, I would say I don't think this is a Chinese thing, because I don't think Chinese parents are actually... showing love that much, or showing, you know, affection that much.
Yeah.
Most of my friends don't have that with their parents.
The physical side of
Yeah,
things.
the physical affection.
Yeah, because your family is very touchy.
Yeah, but that's all coming from my dad. And because I know it because my older sister and my older brother, they're way less touchy. Like,
they're really, really different to you and your 2 other brothers.
Well, also because they've gone through the war.
Yeah, yeah. You can tell, like, they have a...
They were in Cambodia during the genocide, so they didn't
I
have...
I don't know your oldest brother very well. But your sister, obviously, I see her every time we go. And she's very warm and inviting, but she's has a detached kind of side.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think she's kind of special as well. She likes to appear perfect, so she doesn't like the affectionate side of things. Like, even with me, like, I kiss her once a year for my birthday, or like she gives me... She never shows me...
The way you and your sister kiss is like
yeah, it's
nothing.
awkward.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Yeah.
And it's awkward because of her, because she just barely puts her hands on your shoulders.
Hates it.
And she just like kisses the air next to your head, and then she moves away.
Yeah.
And everyone else in the family is like cuddles and kisses. And,
yeah. But I guess with my brothers and sisters anyway, like with none of my brothers, I feel comfortable like kissing them or anything. It's only with my parents.
With your parents.
Yeah. So my dad is very affectionate. And so coming back to the thing, the rule was in the morning, we have to do an exchange of 4 kisses.
Mm-hmm.
And in the evening, when he would come back from work, we'd have another exchange of 4 kisses. And then before we go to bed, we have to say goodnight. And there would be another exchange of 4 kisses.
Really?
And if you would forget about any of those, you'd get slapped in the face.
Slapped in the face?
No, usually it would be in the back of the head, or with the knuckles on the top of the head.
No wonder you're a bit cuckoo.
What the fuck?
All these slaps in the head. Your parents gave you brain damage growing up.
No.
Your head was softer when you were a child, you know? It was more susceptible to this.
Come on. From 10 years old. Something like that.
Yeah, your head was softer.
Yeah, so
it's like,
my dad was...
love your dad,
my
I will
dad was...
smack you.
My
What the fuck?
It wasn't hard. It was just like a funny thing.
It doesn't sound funny. It sounds like your family's level of funny and my family's level of funny were a bit different.
And then, so that was my dad. My mom, on the other hand, she would never, ever kiss us, or, you know, she would never show us this kind of affection.
Your mom doesn't even say goodbye.
Until, all right, we heard that story already.
I know, but it still hurts. It still hurts every time I think of it.
Stop dwelling on that. She only started asking for that like late in, I think it was probably, I already left home, I think, when she started asking for kisses and all these things. She was like,
she misses you, innit?
Yeah, she was like, I want that too. She was like, what? Woman, you never asked for it before?
If you said that to her, she'd slap you.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I only say it in the podcast. But yeah, she would never. She would never ask for it. So
Well,
in that
the amount
sense,
of
she
the
was
amount
really.
of love and attention she gives you when we first arrive, anytime we visit Paris, is dramatically different to the amount of love and attention she gives you by the end of it when we leave.
Yeah.
When she first sees you, she's like big smile, kiss, cuddle.
I know. By the second day, she's like, "Go and do the dishes, girl."
Yeah, go and do your thing, and then she look at me. She just makes some noise and tell me to carry something. I love it though. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll carry. She's talking to me. I'll carry something. She's not talking to me. She's just going,
Hey, it's her way of communicating with you. She makes no efforts whatsoever in terms of speaking English.
No, but your dad, on the other hand,
I know.
man, every time we see your dad, he's got new English.
I know. I'm
Like,
so proud.
First,
of
it was
him.
just coffee, and I was
so
like,
proud
yeah,
of him.
coffee, thank you, and he just would nod, and then he would tell me off for going too near the coffee machine. He's like, no, let me do it. I was like, all
Well,
right.
actually, by the end of the weekend, he's like, "Go and make your own coffee."
Yeah, he taught me. And then it's like, how are you today? I was like, this is awesome.
So proud of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my dad has always been the most affectionate, and my mom.
Is he more of a joker as well?
Yeah, my mom has always been so serious about everything.
It's how people view me and you, you know.
What?
It's how people view me and you.
No.
They view you as the serious one.
No, you mean the smart one. That's
The
different.
smart one. That's not your reputation. Your reputation is like the intense kind of like angry sort of like
Excuse me, according to
scary
who?
one. According to everyone we know.
No.
I'm going to do a survey on Twitter. I'm
That's
telling
not
you
true.
what we'll
Are
say.
you going to make a poll?
Yeah, I'll do a poll and one person will respond. Just like
I
last
have
time.
100% statistics that show...
100% statistics that show.
You joker.
Hey, listen, the facts don't lie.
By the way, I'm telling you, we're going to hate our kids.
No.
We're going to teach them well.
No, we don't hit the turtles.
Well, they're tiny. If you hit them, they're going to die.
That's true. They have shells. You'd think they were tough.
Yeah.
The way you throw them on occasion, jeez.
I don't throw them. They jump out of my hands. That's different.
Why don't they jump out of my hands?
Because they bite you instead.
That dickhead.
There.
Marley bit me on the fucking hand.
Yeah, he hates you.
No, he doesn't. I held him again since then, but I'm a bit worried. I'm watching him, like, if I see his head move, because I kind of could tell before he bit me, I kind of felt like he was going to, because he looked at me,
You know what?
looked at my hand and went, kind of, like, reared his head and went to bite it. So now I, like, watch him, and if I see his head point down at my hand, I'm like...
You know what? I really think he hates you.
No.
Because he bit my finger and it was not hurting. It was just a little nibble on my finger. He thought there was food. He would come and he would lick my finger because he thinks there's food on top of it now because I feed
they have
them every
tongues?
day. No, they don't. But
Oh.
I'm just making that up. And but
So how much
you,
of
he
this story
actually
is true?
bit you for real. Like he hurt
There
you.
was no food in my hand.
He
and
hurt
bit
you.
Me.
He wouldn't hurt me. I'm telling you, he hates you.
I don't know. Don't say that.
Just saying.
Don't say that.
You're gonna believe it.
Yeah, I will believe it. Don't laugh. It's awful. But like, I already can tell that like we have different styles, because my one is.
Tell me your theory.
It's not a theory, okay? It's
Did you just touch me with your foot?
Yeah, I did.
Fuck. That's why I have spots all over my face.
You don't have spots anywhere on your face.
All right, tell me your theory.
Like if the turtle flips himself upside down.
Oh yeah, then the
you
bridge.
flip-
Then
well,
the
no,
bridge.
they do now, but like when they first did, you were flipping them over and putting them back on their legs.
Oh, whatever. And now
You
you're
were.
trying to tell me that I'm over helping them.
Yes, you're smothering them.
I'm smothering them.
Smothering is
Excuse me.
mothering with an S.
Should I remind you who was panicking after one of the turtle was sleeping with the head under the water
Yeah,
and thought that he was gonna
worried.
die?
I did think he was gonna die. Turns out turtles can sleep underwater and not eat for 7 days.
So who's smothering?
You.
Who's smothering?
I'm not. Well, fathering isn't the same pun.
Smothering.
Smothering.
Mm-hmm.
You're ridiculous. But like, yeah, if the turtles fall over on their back, they can get up. They do like a jiu-jitsu style bridge. They like push with their head and their tail kind of like goes dong, and then they flip over and they end up. But the one turtle is really good at it. He just flips over and there's no problem. But the smaller one, Liggy, he kind of can't quite do it. You still flip him.
I don't.
And today you were saying like you felt bad that when he eats, because the water
No, in the
filter
tank.
blasts him across the tank.
Of course.
It's fucking funny. I feel bad for him too. Like, he'll swim too close to it and then boom, it'll blow him like right the way to the other side of the tank.
Pretty sure he's a bit dumb as
But
well.
Marley can swim right in it, and he can.
But he's bigger, okay?
You know what? Not just bigger. Even when he was smaller, he had bigger back feet. They're huge.
Yeah. I know they're massive.
Liggies won't ever get like that
I
proportionately.
think it's the type of turtle that makes it that way.
He's a type, but like Marley, he's strong. Like, he can swim into the current, and if the food goes in there, he goes after it.
All right. So is that your only theory that
Yes.
I'm like helping them?
You help the turtles too much.
Oh, you're jokes. You're so jokes.
This is how it's gonna be when we're parents. You're gonna be like mothering them so much.
Excuse me. Who's
And I'm
the
gonna be-
paranoid dad?
I'm gonna be the one who's just like, don't worry, kids, you go do your thing.
I don't
Trust
think
me.
so.
Trust me. Trust me.
I don't think so. I think you're gonna be the one that dresses them with like helmet, knee pads,
Here's your school helmet.
elbow pads.
Did you ever have roller skates as a kid?
Yeah.
What kind of protection did you wear?
Nothing. I'd come home with my knee scratched all the time.
Yeah, I'll tell you something funny. Like, that does sum up our childhoods. Okay, so like, I'll show you when we go to America to go visit my mum.
Yeah.
Who we're gonna have on as a guest. It'll be really funny. I'll get you some photos of my first pair of rollerblades.
Yeah.
I've got a helmet, I've got knee pads, I've got elbow pads, and I've got hand guards. So I look like a fucking samurai. Like, literally, no matter what happened, if I fall, it would just be like...
That's so cool.
Like, no pain. I could fall as hard as I liked. It was just... Like, I would just...
Sliding through.
Yep, slide on my knees, slide on my elbows, no problem. I was invulnerable.
Oh no! Like I'm sure I've got some scars on my knees and elbows because of it.
So your parents didn't, like, bubble wrap you like mine did?
Are you kidding me? It was like expensive enough to buy us any kind of like toys like that.
This was like presents from, I think, American family.
Yeah, they would never like think of these things. I think.
Man, I tell you, there's a funny picture as well. I'll show you of me in a playground when I was really little.
Yeah.
I got like a bowl haircut, but the picture is just of me, like, you know, like monkey bars.
Yeah.
I'm underneath the monkey bars on the floor, going like in pain. I've got like a pain face, like like that, and that's the photo. So apparently, like, my mum tried to take a picture of me while I was on the monkey bars.
Yeah.
But as she pressed like to click it, I fell and landed. So there's just a nice photo of me like having fallen and being like in pain. Like, I think that was like the first time I ever got winded, because I was like, I couldn't like breathe.
You couldn't breathe.
Yeah. My parents, like, they tried to, you know, give me, like, experiences. We went horse riding loads, which was super dangerous. Like, horse riding is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, and they're still protecting you all the time. I mean, you're not going to deny the fact that you're overly paranoid about everything and that you're scared of a lot of things. And you overthink everything you do before you start doing it. Well, I'm just
I
going
plan ahead.
I'm just going ahead, and then it's trial and errors for me. So that, I think, is going to be it's going to have a big impact on the way we view parenthood.
You reckon?
Yeah, for sure. You're going to plan so much for these kids. They're not even going to have any chance of getting hurt or injured in any way. They're going to have full life insurance no matter what they do.
No, I think that
Stop making up
I
stories.
could dial it back. I think I could dial it back, because I don't want... Do you know why I know I could? Because I don't want my kids to be as paranoid as I am. I really don't want them to be, because it's a burden. It's I don't like it. I have it, and I am paranoid about certain things. But
certain things.
yeah, certain things. Certain things I'm not, but certain things I am. Like, I don't ever worry when I'm going to go fight in the cage or go fight in the ring. Never bothers me. Like, I don't get nervous, like, I'm going to get hurt. I don't get nervous, I'm going to get hurt going and fighting a BJJ. I'm not worried about fighting and things like that. And, like, some people shit themselves before they get in the ring, you know?
Mm,
Like, you have diarrhea the morning of every
Yeah.
time.
I guess.
But, like, it doesn't bother me. But, like, certain things do, you know? But I think you got to have a balance. I think with your, like, carefree attitude and my paranoid
Showing
attitude.
them adventure, baby.
Well, the
That's
thing is, like, this showed itself up when we went to Norway and we went climbing. like we you were walking ahead of me, and I was higher up than you,
Yeah.
so you couldn't see the path in front of you always. You were just looking and taking each step as it came. Whereas, like, when we were going through really difficult places, I would plan. I would see, like, my next 5, 6, 7 steps. And there was plenty of times when you just started veering off to the left or veering off to the right near the edge. And you're like, we'll go this way. I was like, no. You're going to go this way because that's way too close to the edge. It's dangerous. You know what I mean?
I mean, I come on.
Your
I would
way,
have found a way.
You,
I would have found a way. It was just not the way you liked.
no, but the
It's
way you
different.
were going wasn't safe. You were heading down to where there was no way. There was no way to go eventually.
Whatever.
But your way pushed us forward and got us through some difficult bits. But my way stopped us taking dangerous risks.
Your way just made our trip 3 hours longer.
No, it didn't make it. It made it 3 hours
And
safer.
It killed our legs by the end of the day.
My legs were so dead. There was no way around it. Our legs were going to be dead. Like, my legs were dead, like hiking through the snow, like taking a step and then being hip deep in snow.
Yeah, but
And hip deep for me is like shoulder deep for you. So.
Yeah.
I think I don't think that would. I'm gonna smother them.
Yeah.
You laugh, but I want to be balanced. Have a balanced approach.
Well, good luck with
I want to teach them good lessons. You know, I want to like give them good knowledge. Like maybe not being able to do certain things myself, but like being able to teach it. Like I thought about this the other day, and I was thinking about, like, recently I stopped eating like refined sugar and carbohydrates and stuff like that. And before I kept kind of telling myself I would, and then I kind of half did, and then I got my colleague to as well. And then there was a time when I just like started eating cookies, and then my colleague kind of saw and stuff like that, and he laughed, and he's like, "Oh, you're not very good at taking your own advice, are you?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Shit, I'm not." And then he said like, "Oh no, but I do think what you're saying is good. It's just like, you know, somebody might think that maybe not to trust what you say because you can't do it yourself."
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn, that's kind of true." But then I started thinking about like Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson's coach was a guy called Cus D'Amato.
Okay.
Like, and he was like a short, fat, white dude who never even boxed as a professional. He had like in a couple of amateur fights, he hurt his eye and he couldn't box. And he was really old, like 60 by the time he was like doing all this stuff. But he trained Mike Tyson up from nothing to be like one of the best heavyweight boxers of all time.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't think you necessarily have to be able to do the thing to teach the thing. Do you know? Like there's a really famous MMA coach called Greg Jackson, and he's never fought MMA in his life.
Yeah.
He invented his own version of MMA and he called it Gaido Jutsu, whatever that means. And he works with a really good striking coach and really good jiu-jitsu coaches, and he puts it all together, and he's basically like probably the biggest.
One of the best.
No, he's probably the best. He's John Jones' main coach.
Yeah.
He's literally a genius.
And Holly Holmes.
Yeah, and Holly Holm, exactly. He's like a world champion swimming instructor that never got in the pool. Do you know what I mean? It's so weird. But like, I think I could teach a kid something that maybe not necessarily I did in the same way.
Is that why you were telling this whole story?
That is why I was telling the whole story. We're still talking about parenting.
Now it all makes sense.
Exactly. Did you get lost?
Yeah.
Were you like, bzzz?
I wasn't listening anymore.
You weren't listening anymore. Just shut off.
I'm pretty sure you talked about Mike Tyson, but that's all I remember.
You looked at me straight in the eyes and nodded and affirmed what I was saying. You weren't listening. You're so full of shit. I know you were listening.
Of course I was.
I know. You wind me up though, so you wind me up good. You know exactly what buttons to press to piss me off. Like, do you remember any lessons then?
Lessons of what?
That your parents taught you? Like a tangible life lesson, not just from being smacked, but like a moment when you learned something from either of your parents, or maybe one from each, but like something that stuck with you. Like when they looked you in the eye and they were like, "This is how life is."
See, the thing is, my parents don't do that.
No, my parents don't either. But like it happened in my childhood, like maybe once or twice. Do you know what I mean? It's not something parents often do. I'm just saying, do you remember a lesson that you learned from your parents?
Of course, like one of the biggest lessons I learned from them is resilience and
From being beaten.
no, I think from their life history.
Okay, from where they came from.
Yeah.
I thought you meant in terms of just being smacked.
No.
And eventually you
Well,
just
that
get,
too.
and you just
You
toughen
know
up.
what? I'm pretty sure that's why I'm like that tough in jiu-jitsu.
You reckon?
Yeah, for sure. I've got like good training since I was a child.
High pain threshold.
Exactly. Do you know that's why? I'm pretty
You
sure.
have a stupid high pain threshold. It's ridiculous.
And that's why I get injured all the time.
Yeah, it is. You need to work on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to encourage you to complain. So they taught you resilience.
Yeah. So both from their life story and from beating us up all the time. You know, when I realized that actually it wasn't something that every kids were going through. And It was
Yeah?
such a revelation.
Really?
Yeah, I've got one friend that her parents never actually slapped or anything. And one day we were having a discussion and I can't remember what I told her that I had a beating the night before or something.
Mm.
And she was so shocked. She was, "What? Your parents are beating you?" Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, "Is that not something that happens to you too?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "I mean, maybe they just slap you on the ass from time to time." "No, never." "Maybe a little slap on the face from time to time." "Never." "Not even at the back of the head?" "Never." And I was like, "What? What is wrong with you?" And the thing is, what's wrong with your parents? There are pussies on there. That's what I thought. I was like, oh.
There's something wrong with your parents.
What kind of
Instead of
child?
thinking that there was something wrong with your parents
No,
for
there was
being you.
nothing wrong with my parents. You're crazy. No, my parents were perfect in their own way.
Perfect.
Yeah,
They beat you so good.
they beat me so good. They taught me the real life. Man, I'm pretty like, you know what? I'm actually quite thankful for the education I've got. You know, I know you're saying it's kind of barbaric and whatever. To me, it's just the way they showed me.
I can't fault
No.
it from you though. Like I hate the idea of it, but the way you've described it to me today, like you said, you could tell it hurt your parents. But they
I
did
mean,
it
back
to
then,
you.
I couldn't tell. Back then, I was just like in pain. That's all I could think of.
You laugh sometimes. You laugh like Krusty the Clown. It's fucking hilarious.
But as if as a child, I was like, oh, ow! I know it hurts them more than it hurts me. Ow! You joker.
Okay, but looking back, but what I was trying to say was, you love your parents so much, and they obviously love you so much. Like I've been around it, you know, and yet they mercilessly beat you. And in my head, it's like if you beat your kids, they just will hate you. You know, they grow up being more scared of getting beaten. They don't understand why they're being beaten as much. They just know that they don't want to do it. You know, like let's say going outside is dangerous. So you would hit the kid and be like, if you go outside again, I hit you. And I would be like, do you know why I'm saying it's dangerous? It's dangerous because this will happen. You could die or get kidnapped. And
Oh, man.
I would make them
You
understand.
traumatize them for life.
No, I would make them understand why.
You could die.
I make them understand why it's dangerous. Maybe not die, but you know, there's a big dog at the end of the garden or something. Like I tell, you know, it's like, don't put your hand on the oven, you know, because you'll burn it. You know, you'd be like,
Yeah.
like putting their hand on the fire.
See what happens?
This is what happens.
No, I would never do that to you. No.
Shit, man. We're just about running up to our hour.
Yeah.
Getting people saying that they might want it longer.
Really?
Yeah, not this episode, but like it's something to consider.
Not ready for that yet.
You're not ready for that
Yeah,
yet. That
we're
went
not
by
ready.
fast. The first half an hour, like I was like, oh yeah, that feels about half an hour, and then I clicked the thing again to check how long it went, and it was like another half hour had gone by. It was really quick, really quick.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, I know my parents love me no matter what. Like, And the thing is, I'm saying that, but I'm not sure I would want to beat my kids. It depends. I wouldn't
can't
be.
imagine you
I wouldn't be.
being-
I wouldn't be against it. You know, that's the thing. Like
with a coat hanger.
maybe not. I'll find maybe with my jiu-jitsu belt.
Oh my lord!
A little bit of whipping. That's
Alright.
like way less dangerous.
On that note, we'll wrap this thing up.
What?
Beat them with your jiu-jitsu belt.
Yeah, it's soft.
Have you seen the state of people's backs after they get their jiu-jitsu belt? You don't know what it's like because everyone pussied out of hitting you when you got your belt grading.
No, Lorenzo hit me like real hard.
Yeah, I'm sure
He was the only
real hard.
one.
I saw everyone hitting you with the belts and it didn't look... So, like, not all of our listeners do jiu-jitsu. Basically, you get belts, you know, like in martial arts, you start a white belt and you get, you know, a blue, a purple, brown, and a black belt is the end, right?
Yeah.
And every time you get a new belt, everyone in the class makes a corridor. You have to walk through the corridor of people
And
they
whipped.
whip you with the belt. And it's kind of like to humble you and remind you of your place in the gym and you're not the big dog just because you got the belt and there's like some history attached to it, you know? But like those belts are thick and heavy and they fucking hurt. And after you get whipped in one of those fucking corridors, your whole back is just streaks of purple and red. Okay, and this little one right here walked through the corridor and came out without one fucking bruise. All right, you don't know what it's like.
Because my skin is thick.
I got 6 slaps the first time I got my belt because my old gym was like taking the piss with this whole thing.
Boo, 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 did it hurt?
Yeah, it fucking hurt. But I walked through like a boss, and then the one guy was like, "It's not fair. He doesn't feel pain." And in my head, I was like, "Don't hit me harder. It hurts so bad." But I was pretending it didn't hurt.
Did
I went home.
Give them the dead eyes?
I gave him the dead eyes. I went home and I couldn't lay on my back. Like I was like, ah. It was so bad.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so maybe we won't whip the kids with a jiu-jitsu belt.
I mean, I didn't say I would bend the belt in two. Like, I would fold the belt in two. I said I would whip them with the belt. That's it.
You're so kind.
I know. Just one layer is enough.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt. Or imaginary kids.
I can't imagine you hurt any kid. I can't imagine you like giving your nieces and nephews a
Oh my
smack
god,
in the face.
I remember slapping one of my nephew in the face and he was so shocked and it broke my heart.
You see? You'll never do it again.
Yeah, I probably will. But not in the face. I just like, not in the face.
That was too much?
That was too much. Like, that actually broke my
Why
heart.
did you hit him?
I can't remember what he did, but he like really pissed me off.
So you hit him out of anger?
Yeah.
This little tiny thing just like, pow!
Oh gosh. Like that look on his face, I remember.
Did he cry or did you just like go like Asian style?
Did
like,
I cry?
Did he cry?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did he?
He is such a pussy. He was crying
How old
all
is
the
he?
time.
How old is he at the time?
He was like, I don't know, maybe 4.
You
5?
can't call a 4-year-old a pussy.
No, but like he was crying for everything. You would take him out like to the shops and he would want something and he would be crying and seeing on the floor.
Don't say out loud, but can you mouth which one this one is? Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure. Maxim was like the tough one.
I said don't say any names and then you mouthed one name and then you just said that.
That's fine. It doesn't mean who it is. But the Maxim was like, he would like, I remember we were running on the ground with like little rocks. How do you call that? Gravels. And Maxim skipped, like he fell on the floor and he literally like skied on the gravel. And
on his knees.
On his knees and the palm of his hand.
Oof.
And they were all like, his skin was all scratched on his hand. And he stood up. I stood him up. Like, I ran to him and stood him up. And looked into his eyes. And I was like, are you okay? And he was like, literally on the verge of crying. And he was like... And then
wow, just breathing through
the pain. And I swear to you...
How old is he?
He was 3 or 4, same age.
You swear?
Yeah, he was like... I could see the tears at the back of his eyes, and he swallowed the tears back in his eyes, and he didn't cry. I swear to God. It was like in a movie where I could see the tears coming out, and he just like swallowed them back into his eyes. He never cried. I was so proud of him.
Forced the tears back in. I was so proud of him.
I was so proud of him. I was like, that's my nephew. That's my boy. And then I took him and I took care of him when we got home.
So you get points for not crying.
For sure.
Even though you turn into a blubbery mess at movies.
No, what are you talking? Shh. All right, see you guys. Podcast is finished. Over. Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.
Ciao.
If you remember to send us any emails and questions, we're going to have some guests on soon. We're going to have, I think we'll say a little announcement because it's going to come on quite soon.
For Jeremy?
This Sunday we're going to have a special guest on the podcast. He's a professional MMA fighter called Jeremy Ninja Petley. He's one of my training partners and he's a really cool guy and I think you guys are going to like him. And then coming up after that, I think our next guest is most likely going to be a representative from a charity called Children of the Mekong.
But that's all we're going to say.
It's a Cambodian charity.
No, it's Southeast Asian.
Southeast Asian in general, fine. But yeah, it's really amazing, and we're gonna have a good one there too. So if you have any questions for Jeremy, if you have any questions regarding Children of the Mekong, please send them to inbed with ah@gmail.com. You can get us on Twitter at IBA Podcast. IBA is IBAH Podcast. I'm on Instagram and Helene is on Instagram. Helene is
Feisty, FEISTY _ monkey 7.
Feisty Monkey 7, and mine is at IBA Podcast again. Changed it. It's easy to change apparently. So yeah, you can get us both on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's just In Bed with Aaron and Ellen. It's really good to be back, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Talk to you soon, guys.
Bye bye.